The Voice winner Jake Hoot is still on Team Kelly. Interview. On the surface, The Voice Season 17 winner Jake Hoot seems more like a Blake Shelton guy, but to this day, he's still firmly on Team Kelly with fellow traditional country fan Kelly Clarkson. I went in hoping that Blake was going to turn, but it ended up Kelly was the only one who turned, Hoot says of his blind audition performance of Luke Combs' When It Rains, It Pours. It was kind of an easy choice there, but I think it worked out for the best. I love Blake, respect the guy, and would love to work with him at some point, but Kelly and I worked really well together. The Clarkson connection succeeded in part because she, too, excelled as a contestant on a popular singing competition. More than anything, I think her experience of having gone through the same thing, going through American Idol, and being where she is now, she knows what it takes, and she knows the grind you have to go through, Hoot says. It was a really good and educational experience. Per Hoot's description of Clarkson, she's as funny, sarcastic, and kind as fans would hope. If you saw her off camera, you'd never think she's at the level she's at, just because she's so genuine and down to earth, he adds. With a voice in his rearview mirror, Hoot's focused on sharing original material and expanding his image beyond that of a covers artist. Most every country singer starts out playing other people's songs, but there's a difference in perception between performing them on NBC versus entertaining a dive bar crowd for tips. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=vunzuxe7cz9c. The Voice gave me a platform that I'm very grateful for to get my image, my voice, everything, national television, and boost my social media, he says. It was incredible, but now that that's over, it's starting from ground zero. It's all about the music I put out. Don't get me wrong, I love covers. I've done really good with covers, but I want to put my own stamp on country music. As Hoot builds off the popularity of Better Off Without You, his one co-write heard on the show, expect to hear original songs influenced by some of his favorites. Vince Gill, Brian White, Clint Black, Alan Jackson, Eric Pasley, George Strait, and one of the stars to guest on Hoot's season of The Voice, Combs. Luke Combs, I think, has taken country back to that 90s style, and that's the kind of style I love, Hoot says. Seeing how successful he's been doing it influences me as well. I've got his album playing on repeat anytime I get in the car or the truck. Hoot had to attend a mandatory meeting while Combs was on set, so sadly, there was no photo op involving a couple of bearded Carolina Panthers fans. However, Hoot got plenty of one-on-one time before his dream-come-true performance with Little Big Town. I've loved Little Big Town forever, it seems like, he says. When they asked me who I wanted to sing with, I was like, easy, Little Big Town. Just because I love harmonies, and what they do is just on point all the time. Everyone at that point said you're going to like them. They're nice people. Getting to sit actually in the artist tent and talk to them and kind of get to know them a little bit and getting to share the stage with them, they're so down to earth and very sweet and encouraging. Read more. Little Big Town's music video for Happy People will make you smile, the Voice win, and the February 4 Grand Ole Opry debut that followed was quite the ride for a singer-slash-songwriter from a family of 9 children and a former college football player for the Tennessee Tech Eagles in Cookeville, Tennessee. Better yet, that journey to Nashville prominence is far from finished for both Hoot and his loudest and proudest supporter, Clarkson. In 2019, Jake Hoot stunned viewers and judges alike when he was crowned the winner of Season 17 of The Voice. With his powerful country voice, relatable backstory, and down-to-earth personality, Hoot captured America's hearts. But one of the most essential factors in his victory was his coach, Kelly Clarkson. Now, several years after his big win, Jake Hoot remains on Team Kelly in more ways than one. In a recent interview, Hoot reflected on his journey, his relationship with Clarkson, and how she continues to impact his career. The humble beginnings, Jake Hoot's rise to fame is a classic underdog story. Before he auditioned for The Voice, he was relatively unknown in the music world. Born in Texas and raised in the Dominican Republic, Hoot's upbringing was far from the typical country star trajectory. His love for music developed organically over the years, but he never saw himself as the type to seek fame. When Hoot stepped on stage for his blind audition, the odds were stacked against him. Competing on a major network show filled with professional singers seemed daunting. But the moment he belted out Luke Combs' When it rains, it pours. Kelly Clarkson was the first to turn her chair. She was so excited to turn around for me. I'll never forget that look, Hoot recalled. Despite Clarkson being the only coach to turn, that one turn was enough to set him on the path to victory. The bond with Kelly winning The Voice was a life-changing moment for Hoot, but it was the relationship he built with Kelly Clarkson that became the most significant part of his experience on the show. Kelly wasn't just a coach, she became a mentor and a friend. She genuinely cared about all of us, and that showed in everything she did, Hoot shared. Clarkson, known for her relatable persona and infectious energy, went above and beyond to help Hoot during his time on the show. She pushed me outside my comfort zone, which is something I really needed, Hoot said. There were moments when I wasn't sure if I could pull something off, but Kelly always believed in me. She has this way of making you feel like you can do anything, and that confidence is contagious. It wasn't just about the technicalities of performing. Hoot emphasized how Clarkson guided him through the emotional side of the competition as well. Being on a show like The Voice can be overwhelming, especially when the pressure builds. Kelly helped me stay grounded. She reminded me why I started singing in the first place and to always focus on the music, not the noise around it. Post-victory, still on Team Kelly winning The Voice opened up countless doors for Jake Hoot, from signing a record deal to releasing new music. But even after the cameras stopped rolling and the confetti settled, his bond with Kelly Clarkson remained strong. We kept in touch after the show, and she's always been there for advice or just to catch up, Hoot said. Kelly's not the kind of person to just forget about you once the show's over. She's someone who genuinely cares about the people she's worked with. One of the standout moments in their continued relationship came when Clarkson invited Hoot to perform on her talk show, The Kelly Clarkson Show. The two sang their duet, I Would Have Loved You, which became a fan favorite. That song was a special one for me, Hoot explained. To be able to perform it with Kelly, someone I look up to so much, was a dream come true. Hoot mentioned that Clarkson remains a source of advice as he navigates his post-The Voice career. Whenever I'm unsure about something, whether it's a song choice or a business decision, I know I can reach out to her. She's been in the industry for so long and has such a wealth of knowledge. She's always willing to share that with me, which is incredible. The influence on his music. Clarkson's mentorship extends beyond performance. It's also reflected in Hoot's approach to his music. One of the biggest things Kelly taught me is to stay true to who I am as an artist, he said. She told me from day one, don't try to be something you're not. People love authenticity, and that's advice I've carried with me. Since winning The Voice, Hoot has focused on creating music that resonates with his roots. His songs like Love Out of Time and Night Left reflect the same authenticity and honesty that first captured Clarkson's attention. I want my music to be real and relatable, just like Kelly's. That's something I admire about her. She's never tried to be anything other than herself, and that's what makes her so successful. Looking ahead as Jake Hoot looks toward the future, it's clear that Kelly Clarkson's influence will continue to be a guiding force in his life and career. I'll always be grateful to Kelly, he said with a smile. She believed in me when no one else did, and that's something he'll never forget. When asked what's next for him, Hoot hinted at new music on the horizon and more opportunities to perform. But no matter where his career takes him, one thing is for sure. Jake Hoot will always be on Team Kelly.